Okay, Phil, really bad afternoon at the office today, I think, wasn't it?
Going into this game, I was buoyed by the fact that the young lads that we've got at the football club were bouncing, on the training ground on Tuesday and Thursday, and I thought, with it being AstroTurf, there was every chance that we may be able to get the ball down today, albeit we were coming up against a team that was very physical, very driven by a longer ball or more directness. But I thought we coped with it. I thought we were coping with it for a good 30-35 minutes until the moment that they scored. And again, it was one of them where when they did score, the kind of goal we knew was coming. But we had done okay up until that moment. Consequently, when you go 1-0 down, you start, I wouldn't have said chasing your tail. I just thought we started the second half in a good manner. I thought Max Booth had an absolutely great move, there's no doubt about it, fantastic football, and found himself in the 6-yard box with just the goalkeeper to beat. And I would have put money on Max Booth putting that in the back of the net. Consequently, when the keeper made a save, the 2, 3 and 4 goals against are the unacceptable part of it, and I'm trying to not be super critical of the younger players at the football club, because I think we've got a few of the seniors that have been injured, probably a little bit longer term than what I expected them to be, and consequently because of that, we had a lot of kids out there and they were looking for a little bit of leadership, they were looking for a little bit of experience to guide them through, and we missed that today, to be fair. We didn't have that leadership, we didn't have that experience to guide anybody through today, and consequently the result ended 4, and that was all we deserved of Troop,
Sure, I think you've mentioned a lot there. I think if Max Booth had have scored that chance, it's a different game. It's 1-1 then, and it's a different game. And I thought we came out the second half, and I was quite buoyed because I thought, we're going to get back in this. But the second goal was just a real killer, was it? And then we seemed to just go to pieces for about 10-15 minutes.
So there's a couple of things that you've mentioned there that, 1-0 down, you're never out the game. At 2-0 down, you're never out the game. To capitulate in the manner in which we did do is unacceptable behaviour in my football clubs where I've been before. And if that means I've got to clear the dressing room out to bring players in that are Phil Brown kind of players, then so be it. But I need backing for that, and we need to get something from the game to be able to say to the chairman, I'm pointing these guys in the right direction. What he'll have witnessed today is not that. But as I go back to it, maybe for 30-35 minutes, he might have witnessed a half-decent game of football where we had a foothold in the game. They're top of the league for a reason. They're playing a style of football, and I've got nothing against that style of football. If you're successful at it, get on with it, but they're playing that successful style of football very efficiently. They've got inches, not just on the pitch, but coming off the bench. They've got even bigger players coming off the bench, whereas consequently, stature-wise, we couldn't match them at set pieces. We have probably 2, maybe 3 players that can just about match, the 6'2" and the 6'3", but when they go to 6'4" and 6'5", I think we're struggling. But as I've said to the players at the end of the game, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog, which has been said many, many times. It's about the heart, and it's about putting that body on the line in the 6-yard box, because that's what matters. Today we didn't do that.
Trying to get some positives out of that, then there's the Max Booth did get a goal towards the end, and that's another one for Max Booth, and that's bringing his confidence back, which is good news, isn't it?
Yes, but it's singular confidence. When you come away from a game and you've lost 4-1, Max might have got something from the fact that he scored, which is fine, absolutely. It's an individual sport and it's a collective sport, but as a team we've got to look at ourselves and say, did we do enough? Max Booth could have had a say in the matter with regards to winning the game, let alone getting a consolation goal, but I'm not going to pile any kind of pressure on Max Booth to score goals every game, because that's one, his job, and 2, do we need them kind of goals and that kind of return? Absolutely. But at the same time, he played alongside DJ. DJ had no sniffs today, but he worked hard enough. There's 1 or 2 individual positives, but I can't hang my hat on too much, because once it goes into our penalty box, I'm a little bit concerned.
So I've got to mention this, Phil. You did at the end there, brought the players back out onto the pitch and sat them down and talked to them at length. A lot of people say that's what you're famous for. What did you say to the boys at the end there on the pitch?
I think it's a different kettle of fish. That was. There's no doubt in my mind. The reason why I did it was because it was an end of game, talking to the players, and I wanted a bit of privacy. And basically, it was a warm down. They didn't do much activity with the warm down. There's a lot of voice coming out of me, but they have to hear one or two things, and I think it's important that the people that went across to the far side of the pitch are the ones that have actually put their bodies on the line today to a certain extent, and they had to hear it, but there's certain people that they're not even putting their bodies on the line, and that's the problem that we have at the football club. We've got to rip this up and start again, if truth be known. However that happens and however that works with regards to the chairman, they're conversations I need to have with the chairman, and hopefully action as opposed to words will help us in the right direction, point us in the right direction with regards to Kidderminster Harriers next week.
And is that a conversation you've already started to have with the chairman? Or?
Yeah, we've daily conversations. I mean, for one, chairman won't thank me for saying this, but he doesn't deserve that kind of performance. Not the capitulation in the second half. He's paying good money to these people, and bottom line is we've got to put a little bit more thought into the game and put a little bit more effort, but more importantly, put our heart and souls into defending. I feel as if anybody lays a glove on, we will go down. As a boxer, you're in the wrong game. When people are putting a glove on us, if we go down, we've got to get back up, and we've got to get up and fight. We had an opportunity with Max Booth getting that chance to go 1-1, but did I envisage seeing the second, third and fourth going in after 1-1? Well, it could have happened. It's a trait in the football club at the moment that 6-yard box behind me and that one at the top end, we've got to start taking a little bit more care in them 6-yard box and putting a little bit more heart and soul into our performances if we're ever going to start winning games at this level. And it doesn't matter what level, if truth be known, at any level. And I think we've witnessed that today from the opposition.
So next week then, back to league action, and it's Kidderminster at Pims Park. That's a big game for you personally, but now it's a big game for the whole club, isn't it?
Absolutely. But we'll try and prepare, and that's the hard part of it. My go-to thought process would be bring them in on Sunday, bring them in on Monday, bring them in on Tuesday, bring them in on Wednesday. Keep on bringing them in until they understand what I mean. And then they, if truth be known, wouldn't want to be coming in because they've heard it all before and all this kind of rubbish. I don't want that. I want 24/7 mentality. I want 100% commitment to the chairman and Peterborough Sports in general. That I'll get this, the byproduct of that is I'll get the performance. If we get the performance that I know these lads are capable of, then it's every chance we'll start winning games of football. But at this moment in time, something not right at the club.